Hi, everyone. I'm Pip from Seymour Digital Media. You're listening to Know How Marketing Lab podcast. This podcast brings together different experts in marketing from our Facebook group, Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer. Each week we get on here and we talk about something search marketing like Google Ads or SEO, social media marketing from Facebook to TikTok, or website marketing. If you're a marketer or aspiring marketer, a business owner or entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. We're going to share the best SEO, search, social, and website strategies. We share tips and hacks, Google Ads strategies, what's going on in the current market. Each week we discuss something exciting and awesome in marketing. Greg, today, what are we talking about?
The good, the bad, and the ugly about what's it called now?
Google Business Profile. I will tell you.
This is why we're doing this topic, because things change so much in this thing.
I found I don't know if it'll look good, but I found a blur extension so that we could show things on a search engine results pages, but we don't have to show our clients stuff. So I thought that was really cool if we want to go try that. But yes, Google Business Profile. So AKA Google My Business. Google seems to like to change names sometimes. Not sure what that's about.
I'm curious if Bing Places changes as much as the Google Places or Google My Business changes.
I don't know. You know, there is a very easy syncing option between the two.
Yeah, I just did it the other day for a client.
If you do it, make sure to go in. I don't know if you're doing UTM parameters for tracking and analytics. You have to go in and change the UTM parameter to be like Bing Places versus Google Business Profile. I think we still use Google My Business actually, and as for the tracking name,
I'll look into it. It came up because the Bing listing for this client had their business rated at a 2.7 out of 5. And so he contacted me about it. He's like, what is going on? Like, where are these reviews? Because there's no negative reviews about this client. Like, he's 5-star everywhere. But Bing is showing him at a 2.7. And there's these random places on the internet that it tries to find reviews for businesses. And one of them says there's a 2.7 out of 5. So it's showing a 2.7 overall out of 5. And when you go to this place, it doesn't even have reviews on the site. So we're trying to find out with Bing where these numbers are coming from.
If you updated it, because Bing does not report on Google Business Profile numbers, right? So it's not fair. And it's funny because, I don't know.
We just want the reviews that are not even existing to not reflect a star rating that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Because anyone searching Bing or using that platform, when searching for his business, he comes up, he's got his profile for his business, and it says that he has a 2.7 out of 5 rating. And it's incorrect.
And that can really hurt a business. It's like,
yeah, absolutely.
Right? So, I mean, how many of us have looked at reviews? We all look at reviews, right? I mean, they do make you call people or make you not call people, right?
But this isn't about Bing. Let's get back on track.
So Google Business Profile, as we know, has changed a lot in the last couple months. If you use it, you might have seen that you are now using it in the search engine results pages, what we call the SERPs, common word lingo for search marketing. And it's really funny because, well, some of us professionals are a little bit nose at a joint about it. Like they spit you out. So you used to be able to log into the back end, and what did they call that? The Google Business Profile Manager. Oh, yeah. We have some 2 hot tips at the end of this that we'll share with you. But so when you log into the Google Business Profile Manager, you used to be able to, interchange between accounts easily.
You were presented with all of the business places that you managed for Google, and you could conveniently go from one to the other and make any changes that you needed to all of the businesses.
I think
all
that's
in
the
one
problem,
spot.
is it's not convenient.
Yeah, I mean, people don't like change.
Who doesn't like change?
Maybe you don't like change as much, but this change, initially I was like, oh, this is gonna suck because I like going to my one spot, picking my client, making the change. But if you really think about it, I'm starting to warm up to how they're doing it because I mean, you search for the business. If you are someone who can manage that business, you're immediately presented with everything that you can do that you did in Google Business Manager right there. And the convenience of that is pretty good. It just is not convenient for us as agencies
Marketers,
or people who manage multiple
accounts.
spaces to be able to go between them more easily. You then have, like, if you want to make a change to another one, you got to search for it again, and that
Yeah.
one, the information for that one comes up. So while convenient to a single user, maybe less convenient to people like us now who don't have it all in one spot.
Which is related to one of the things we're going to talk about called
Yes.
register for your agency for Google for business profiles. But that's a little later. So when they did this change, a lot of SEOs were figuring out the breaking where you could get back into the back end and do things because it just spits you out like no matter what you try. So there were people focused on finding a solution so they could still work in the back end. I didn't go that far.
And it did work like that for the longest time. Like, even up until 2 days ago, I myself did not realize because I could still go into the old place and see all of them. But as soon as you chose one, it spit you out and basically did a
It's like,
search for that business and presented you with
yeah.
all of the options that you get. So even up to 2 days ago, when we talked about this, I was unaware that they really locked you out of being able to make any changes there anymore.
Yeah. There was a really weird thing though so with the Google Business Profile when you go onto the search engine results pages, there is the Q&A
Mm-hmm.
there that they give the business owner now the option to add like at least 12 Q&As that they get at most frequently asked questions, and that was not available on the inside of the Google Business Profile Manager. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, they're changing and adding as it grows, and we're going to continue to see that.
I will say, like, because we use Google Business Profile a lot for local SEO. We have strategies we try to implement in there. And it's harder, like, when you add photos. If you add photos and then click to view the photos, it breaks, right? If you add a post or a video post, you won't see it live. And we often like to check our work to see if there's any errors. So that makes it a little bit harder. But I think the strategies on Google Business Profile are going to have to change in the next little while. I don't think they're working as well as they used to. I think more businesses are aware of, how to use this and why it's important. And I don't know if you noticed, but if you manage Google Business Profiles, it comes on Maps now. They got rid of the app. They've forced you to use the app. They've gotten rid of the app. They've added the app. Like, so now you manage your business inside the maps on your phone. And you'll notice, like, if you interact with people, like through the messaging service,
Hmm.
there'll be a tab beside the messages saying following. So it is really starting to grab that, hey, follow this business or something like that. And they've been trying to do that for years. So, because the Google Business Profile is very similar to Facebook Business Profile or Instagram or LinkedIn Business Profile
Yeah,
postings, right?
yeah.
So, and you utilize it because it's on search. So, I
It's
love
like
it
they're
though.
trying to make Google a place to just go and hang out on the
Yeah,
site and stay there for products and services and then
everything.
searching for anything else you want, or
to the point where they're making it soon to come is in shopping in Google purchase. You're not even going to have to go to the website. So, I mean, they do have this 0-click thing that's been happening over the years, right? If you don't utilize your Google Business Profile, I mean, how many of us search a business, look at the right-hand side of the page and be like, okay, they're open. Okay, it's high traffic volume time, or, I'm going to read the reviews there. So, I mean, you don't even go to the business as much now because you get all that information. So if you're not using that as a business owner, even if I do believe it's not just for local SEO. I think other businesses should fill it out. Really big businesses get something called a knowledge panel, very much like a Google Business Profile, but it's like for Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. And then if you go a step deeper, Coca-Cola has a knowledge graph, which is a bunch of knowledge panels put together, because like the CEO will have his own knowledge graph. It's very interesting. What are you doing, Greg? What are you doing?
Writing down a future topic.
Oh, no way.
I knew that if I didn't write it down immediately, I was probably going to forget by the end of the live, but
what is it?
Has to do with what we're talking about.
Is it secret?
No, I mean, I can tell you the idea of what I want to talk about is Google getting too much in our business?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Well, you can turn off Google being in your business. So it is a great topic. We could actually show people where to turn that off inside their Chrome extension.
I mean, you can integrate as much as you like into what Google's offering, but is Google starting to offer too much that is basically taking away from businesses being unique and themselves by every business having everything in Google?
That's a very interesting topic, because
I will talk about it in the future.
Yeah, right. So many good things to talk about, especially with Google. And I often say Google and Facebook are like siblings, and they're a little jelly of one another. And Google's really jealous of Facebook, has always been, about time on page. Because you go into Facebook and you stay there and you scroll and you scroll. When you go to Google, you go and then you leave. So this is a strategy, I think, to change that a little, right? Because if you're in the search engine results pages, I mean, where are they putting, where are the metrics, right? So you're not going anywhere else. So you're staying on there. So time on page, right? Which is an SEO factor. So I don't know. Let us know if you've used Google Business Profile in the search engine results pages, if you like it. The two things we really want to talk about today are that if you type in your business name, your Google Business Profile comes up. If you actually type in my Google Business Profile.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that as well, as because we manage multiple. But if you're a store owner and you just do one,
I can't do
if you just search for your business, it'll present you with all those options too. But us who manage multiple, if you just search, like you were just going to say, Google Business Profile, the search will present you all of the businesses that you manage. And from there, you can select it.
Right? Like, oh, look at us down here, Greg. Look, I'm normal size now.
I'm taller than you.
Oh, I'm like, can I move us? This is neato. If I move the screen, then it moves. It just all gets awkward. But hold on. Let's see if I can. See over here. This is neato. See over here. When you type in my Google Business Profile and you can see your businesses, you could view all businesses. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and that little section underneath the initial couple of listings there, or whatever it's presenting, are links directly to the first three profiles that it's presenting you that you manage. And there's a view all business button if you want to click that and be able to see all of the businesses that you can manage.
Yeah. So I have found a tool to blur things out. So as you can see one of my clients, but that's because they, let us share information about them. The other two, that we still have them on. If you work in Google Business Profile, you'll often get attached to a lot of accounts that you never get taken off of. So, it's just one of those things with the Google Business Profile.
Want to know more about SEO? We've got a class for that.
Our mission is to educate students about the right tools, techniques, and strategies to grow their businesses using the most up-to-date search engine marketing optimization techniques and tools. Find out more at knowhowmarketinglab.com. The GBP is, not a great acronym. I like the GMB. It's smoother. Anyway, Greg and I, I know we were late today, so I don't necessarily want to go overtime, but I don't want to go under time. I'm not sure what to do here. But I did want to bring up that while Greg and I were on the call on Tuesday, the day before Phelan and I were rummaging around Google, and we found a Google Business Profile. What was it, Greg? It's the
Google
Register
Business Profile for agencies.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Which we will share in the comments, the link. And so you can sign up if you're an agency for this Google Business Profile management system. It looks just like the old
Google My Business Profile Manager
back end, right? Which is really interesting, although super cumbersome to sign up for because you need an email that's not attached to any Google Business Profile. I don't know. It's one of those things you start to try to do it, and it's so new.
I went to do the sign up, and it was asking, it needed to be an agency domain email, and
not a Gmail.
So I don't have a Google account tied to my domain email, and basically my Google account, I have my domain email as an alias of it.
And you pull it into your email?
So when I tried to sign up, I went to log in with that domain email of mine, and because it's tied to my normal Gmail, it thinks I'm that person, so it won't let me sign up until I actually create a Google account with one of my domain emails.
So you have to be paying for G Suite.
I don't think you have to be on G Suite. You have to have an account that uses your domain email, right? So for me, something at Original 72 Creative, you can create because a Google account.
And you're hosting.
A Google account isn't tied to a Gmail account. It's just a Google account that you can use any email address that you have for that Google account. So from what I understand, I need a Google account that uses one of my domain emails.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We did our domain emails originally on our hosting, and now we use G Suite because it was just easier. So we will share that link to register if you want to try to register for yourself. I do think other people will be talking about this in the coming couple weeks. I think we were maybe close to first to market on this in seeing it, because we're a little absurd when we're searching sometimes. But so Google Business Profile, what we're talking about today is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good is that we have it. Yeah.
Sure.
The bad is that it's
too much.
Changing names and just silly things. Why do you need to do that? And I do think the ugly is that maybe customers can use it for themselves more easily now, and they don't need an agency. That could be or it's just because it's not bad. I don't know what the ugly is. There's no ugly. It's hard to find everything still, right?
I think the ugly of it is because it's so integrated with the SERPs, I think customers don't truly understand what it is.
Yes, I could see that.
Yeah. So when I talk to some customers, they're like, "Oh, when it does this and it shows this," I'm like, "Yeah, that's part of they don't know the separation to organic results to Google My Business or Google Profile results, and all of the things that are in there or in the normal SERPs."
And that's a really interesting point. I wouldn't have even thought about that because I rarely talk to my clients, but for sure they're probably confused, especially because Search Console can show up in there too.
Hmm.
And the weirdest thing is what about security? So is there a security issue with the fact that, say, I'm a business owner, I leave my computer on, right? Somebody like, maybe I don't have log on and off or something like that. If somebody can just turn on my computer and my profile is in Chrome,
Hmm.
they could get into not only my account, but they can get into all my clients' accounts.
Yeah, funny, I just had that conversation with a client yesterday
That's
because I was recovering his Google account for him. He forgot his password. He doesn't use it. He only uses it when he wants to hop in and see analytics or, things like that. And so he forgot his password, but it was originally set up by someone else, and the recovery email on
went to
it
someone
was
else.
another company, another agency. And so I had to
Very good.
contact that agency. We recovered the account anyways, but when I was talking to him after we recovered it to get him back logged in, I told him, okay, go to Google in the upper right, click, there's a sign in button. And he's like, no, there's no sign in button. There's just a circle. It says, whatever initial K or something. And I was like, oh, then it seems like you're already signed in. And so I said, click that. It'll show you your information. And it was a completely different person. It was one of his bookkeepers that I
Oh,
guess was signed into their Google account on his computer, but that's his computer he uses all the time. But I guess she had never signed out, so he had access to, if he knew or what he was doing, he could
if
go
she
into
had
his
her own
email, go
business.
into anything, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Actually, that's true. It's very smart bets. Always sign out. Close down your computer, or at least just have it on the timer so that you have to sign in. I think that is the smartest option. But I mean, how many of us have left our Facebook pages open and a friend has started posting random weird pictures for you on your profile? I had a friend that did that. It was super funny. He had people getting a hold of him being like, "Why is Nicolas Cage all over your Facebook page?" So super funny. But yeah, security is an issue. Did you know you can actually go into Google Maps, like if you're a business owner and you need to figure out how many kilometers you used for the year and where you went, so you could figure out which were business locations that you went to. You could actually figure that all out in Google Maps easily because they track you everything
mm.
unless you turn it off. So,
I had a question for you about Google Places.
oh, Google Business Places
Or
or Google
Google
Places?
Business. See, now I'm mixing up Bing Places and Google Business Profile. They need to come up with consistent naming
Yes, they
so that
do.
so I can just refer to them as like the same thing, but
I
Google
know.
or Bing.
But now we can use Google Business Profile and Google My Business as a really good example in Google Trends to see
Mhm.
how it changes over time. Anyway, what's your question? What's the question?
I What was my question? I was gonna ask you about the biggest impact for those your Google Places listing. Posting updates,
Interesting.
doing video. Because I
Uh,
came across someone who said video is like the biggest thing you could do to help boost your profile. Do like a video walkthrough of your
yeah.
location or something. What's your feeling on video specifically, and or other items to really look at for
Interesting.
your listing?
I would say so. I do. So, number one, I do make sure I name all my images before I upload them when I'm uploading images. So, if they have a keyword in them or whatever. However, Google does not show that information. They just show the month inside. So, where you add images, you can add video, but often it doesn't let you add video there, or the video has to be super short. There is a place where you can actually hire somebody to do a walkthrough
Yeah.
and do a video, but I think you could do that yourself. But video posts, if you did the video post with a SRT file, right? You know, or at least you had it all the words on coming out, so because crawlers can't read video, but we're not necessarily thinking about crawlers, we're thinking about people. I think it's more engaging when I go to a business and I see as their posts, I want that information filled out. I want to learn as much as I can about your business, and I want to be able to jump inside your business
Hmm.
from those posts, those products, and so I think that I like the video posting. I think it's more engaging. I think it's a great way to do posts. And I think if we're not talking robots and we're talking people, I mean, do you find it more engaging? Are you going to be more likely to click that play button?
Probably not.
I will tell you the thing that kills me about it, though. It's great on a phone, but sometimes you'll add video of your clients doing a video. Yeah, it's all perfect. On a computer, it's like they're cutting off the head. And you're just like, that's all perfect. And you don't want your clients to see that, but it looks perfect on a phone. So I like
Yeah,
video.
I think the way I use search and stuff, I tend still to focus on information, not as much video, especially when I'm looking for like a place that I want to go or something.
Hmm. I think
But,
the
but maybe that's because I'm older and still set in like earlier internet days, and I have to adapt to these newfangled technologies.
Yeah, right. I mean, the future is pretty open. We'll see where Google goes with the Google Business Profile, but I like it. I use it. I think it's a great asset. And they came up with the Google Business Profile to help local businesses generally compete with businesses like Walmart, who, were taking or Home Depot, so that the little guys could, you know, get attention on Google and not get squeezed out of the market.
I wonder if the name change has anything to do with maybe strategy with because Google My Business was really focused, and as far as I know, is still quite focused on local services, right? Like not business listings like you and I have, kind of a thing. More like plumbers, electricians,
Oh,
and
we're in there now. We're in
those.
there.
We are in there, but Google My Business, I think, was more trying to more cater to those local businesses where you needed to find, a company to like
Yeah.
get a service
They
done.
had two. They had two. So they had the service area, which would be plumber, electrician
Hmm.
type of people. And then they had like small businesses like, in town, the local flower shop, or yeah, that's what it was used for. We were not actually allowed to
Yeah.
have a Google Business Profile
And so
until
now with the name change, I feel like they're going to basically like just open up the it more to be like anyone who has a business, period,
mm,
can get a business profile on
y-
Google.
yeah, we'll see. There's been a lot, like there's been a different hacking schemes, black hat SEO techniques. Rank and rent was one of them. So you get a Google Business Profile, you pop up a quick website, and then you get all the leads, and then you sell them to other businesses in the area. That was done by I don't know what his name is. He's a black hatter, and he closed down Google Business Profile. The other thing to mention before we go is that you get notifications that your business, update your hours and things like that. Supposedly, in the last little while, if you don't go in and accept changes or edit those changes, Google, when they automatically update, you could lose all your reviews, and then you have to go and fight to get them back. And to be honest, they don't even want to look at you if it's not more than 50 plus reviews. So they've had
Why
a lot
would
of
why would you lose reviews if you don't update
it's
your hours or
well,
something?
because when they updated it, it like turns it over in the system, so it doesn't, it's not pulling them through. That's the thing. So that's one of the hiccups. The other thing is, I mean, I lost reviews. Some people woke up and had all like hundreds of extra reviews. My negative review got taken down. So if you have negative reviews, make sure you go and try to fight them, because they can't get taken down, because Google knows they do hurt businesses. And if somebody's written a review and it's like, yeah, I tried to go to the business, but I never got there. That's no, you're not allowed.
I should attempt to remove a negative review for a client of mine, lawyer, who
Yeah, yeah.
the opposition gave a negative review of the person he was suing's lawyer. So
That's
not
not
even
okay.
Yeah, like, so it would be like if I was suing someone and I lost the case and I went and gave that other person's lawyer who was defending them against my suit a negative review just because I lost, like, spiteful, I
Well,
lost,
that's
don't
brutal.
give.
That's a conflict of interest. There is a conflict of interest. The best one is if a company or somebody leaves a review and they mention another company, it gets taken down if you report it like within like a minute, which makes you look really good as a marketer,
Hmm.
right? That you're helping your client get rid of those. We've had some like crazy reviews from people, not on our account, but on our clients' accounts that we've had to work towards getting removed. So it's always a bonus to try to get those removed for
So
people.
that could be part of the bad of
Yeah.
Google Profile Manager.
Well, I think
Google
they're
Business
good.
Profile. I can't get the name right anymore. It's changed too much. I'm so
Yeah,
confused.
yeah, and the GBP is hard to say. Like for some reason, it just doesn't flow. Anyway, we are. I do apologize for being late, only because I missed being here early, and I did make Greg twiddle his thumbs. And if you know me, you know I do like my punctuality, and I am a judger on if you don't show up, but I get over it. I've been taught. Greg, in the next couple weeks, we only have, I think, 2 or 3 more weeks of.
We have to first Thursday and the second Thursday of the month. We'll have, and I'm not looking at what the
They're fun. It's
topics
all
are, but we have two more before the end of the year. We're taking the last two off for Christmas and New Year, so we'll see you guys in the New Year
the
the
next 2 weeks.
after the next two.
And if you're joining us on some other channel like YouTube, we do have a Facebook group called Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer. I am not always this short compared to Greg. And we will see you next week. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
The conversation never stops in our Facebook group, Cyberpunk Geeks. Join us at facebook.com/groups/cyberpunk geeks to ask your questions, meet new friends, and learn even more about search, social, and websites.